Coco Jones is yanked out of her car by two officers, their hands gripping her arms with unnecessary force. The sharp click of handcuffs echoes as they lock her wrists behind her back. One officer leans close, sneering that she is being arrested for talking back, his tone dripping with arrogance and intimidation. The street is dimly lit, late evening traffic slowing as bystanders gather, shocked at the sight of a well-dressed woman treated like a criminal. Some whisper in disbelief, others raise their phones to record, capturing every second of the humiliating scene. The injustice is written across her face, but Coco remains calm, her eyes steady even as the officers push her toward their squad car. What happened after her single phone call would destroy their entire careers. Coco tries to steady herself, her voice calm despite the metal biting into her wrists. She tells the officers politely who she is, and that there must be some mistake, but her respect is met with cruelty. One officer smirks, mocking her tone, saying she is being disrespectful just for speaking. Another pushes her shoulder roughly, accusing her of having a bad attitude, twisting her words into a weapon against her. The crowd shifts uncomfortably, torn between fear of the uniforms and outrage at what they are witnessing. Phones stay raised, recording every second, but no one dares step forward. Coco stands as composed as she can, even with her dignity being stripped away in public. The humiliation is sharp and deliberate, designed to break her spirit, yet her steady gaze makes it clear she refuses to bend. The imbalance is stark. Two men in positions of power abusing their authority against one woman whose only defense is her calm strength. Every second stretches the tension tighter, the injustice heavier. The officers tighten their grip, forcing Coco forward until the metal cuffs cut deeper into her wrists. She winces, her body straining under the pressure, but she does not cry out or beg for relief. Her silence only fuels their arrogance. One of them laughs harshly, twisting her arm higher and announcing loudly to the crowd that she is resisting arrest. The other officer joins in, sneering as he mocks her for daring to talk back to men in uniform. Their words echo down the street, dripping with authority, meant to humiliate her even further. Around them, phones remain raised, capturing every brutal second. A murmur spreads through the bystanders, uncertain at first, but then sharper as faces in the crowd begin to recognize her. A whisper cuts through the air, carried from one person to another. "Isn't that Coco Jones?" Some gasp. Others exchange quick glances, realizing this is no ordinary woman being manhandled. Yet still, no one dares to step between her and the men in uniform. Coco's jaw tightens, her eyes steady even as the cuffs dig into her skin. Every insult, every shove, every attempt to break her dignity, she absorbs in silence. To the officers, it looks like submission. To the crowd, it looks like endurance. But deep down, her silence carries a weight none of them yet understand. It is not weakness, it is resolve. A storm is building behind her stillness, and when it breaks, the men mocking her will never forget the cost of underestimating her. The officers yank Coco forward, shoving her hard against the cold metal of the squad car. The sound of the impact echoes down the street, and the crowd gasps in unison. Mothers shield their children's eyes. Others clutch their phones tighter, recording every second of the humiliating scene. The officers smirk, convinced they have made their point, that they have reduced her to nothing but another powerless civilian. But then Coco finally speaks. Her voice is steady, calm, and sharp as a blade. "You really don't know what you're doing." The words slice through the night, quiet but heavy, carrying a warning that makes the crowd fall silent. "Did she say Pentagon?" Another voice cuts in louder. "They handcuffed a Pentagon official." The tension shifts violently. What began as an abuse of power now hangs like a death sentence over the officer's career. Every eye in the crowd is fixed on them, their cameras like evidence waiting to spread across the world. The two men who once stood towering and smug now look cornered, their authority shattered. Coco doesn't raise her voice. She doesn't need to. Standing tall, even with the cuffs on her wrists, she has taken command of the entire street. The power that was stripped from her has returned tenfold, and the officers are left exposed, helpless against the storm they created. In that moment, Coco is no longer the one under arrest. She is the one in control, and the officers know their downfall has already begun. Within minutes, the wail of additional sirens fills the street. Backup patrol cars screech to a halt, and more officers rush onto the scene. At first, they are tense, unsure of what they're stepping into. until Coco's credentials are confirmed through the phone still connected to the Pentagon. The shift is instant. The new officers straighten, saluting her with respect, their eyes wide with the realization of who she truly is. The two arrogant cops who handcuffed her moments ago are left frozen, their bravado crushed. The very cuffs they locked on her wrists are removed, only to be snapped tightly around their own. The sound of metal closing around their wrists echoes like poetic justice, each click humiliating them in front of the crowd. Their shocked faces, once so smug, are now pale and hollow, consumed by the weight of exposure. The crowd reacts with an audible gasp followed by murmurs of approval. Phones stay raised high, capturing this reversal of power. Strangers who moments ago were silent now cheer, relieved to see the injustice overturned right before their eyes. Some shake their heads in disbelief. Others smile in vindication, as though justice has finally been given back to them too. Coco doesn't revel in their humiliation. Instead, she turns to the bystanders, people who had been shaken, worried, even afraid, and addresses them with calm assurance. Her steady voice carries hope as she reminds them that justice still exists, even when it feels buried under corruption and arrogance. Her presence is no longer just about her survival. It becomes a message for everyone watching. The tension that hung so heavily over the street dissolves into a sense of release. What began as a scene of cruelty and abuse has ended with truth and authority restored, and no one present will forget how quickly everything changed. Coco stands tall as the scene settles, the crowd still buzzing with disbelief. She calmly removes the phone from speaker mode, tucks it away, and steps forward with complete composure. The officers who once mocked her now hang their heads in shame, handcuffed and surrounded by their own colleagues. Without raising her voice, she delivers a line that pierces deeper than any punishment. Power without integrity is nothing but corruption. The words echo across the street, searing themselves into the minds of everyone present. She turns and walks steadily toward her car, the streetlights casting a calm glow over her figure. There is no need for dramatics. Her authority and truth have already reshaped the night. Behind her, the consequences unfold quickly. The two corrupt officers are placed under immediate suspension, their reputations shattered as investigations are launched. Their arrogance, once used as a weapon, has now become their downfall, and the entire crowd knows it. For the bystanders, the moment becomes unforgettable. Phones lower, people exchange looks, and the reality sets in. They have witnessed a powerful lesson. Justice isn't always loud, but it is undeniable when it arrives with truth and courage. As Coco's car door closes and the engine hums to life, the question lingers heavy in the air. What would you have done if you witnessed this?